Is using your phone harming your awakening? Feel into that question. How does that question make you feel right now? Can you feel like a reaction, a response, maybe in the body, or maybe the mind is fired up, wanting to answer the question? Is using your phone harming your awakening? What's going on right now in response to that question? What do you feel? Is there maybe the desire to justify, to defend? Maybe defend your own phone use, defend yourself, maybe to defend your phone. So the desire to defend an inanimate object might arise, which is quite interesting, isn't it? When we talk about awakening, when I talk about awakening, I'm pointing towards waking up to freedom, really, liberation, freedom from conditions or conditioned well-being, awakening to well-being that doesn't depend upon conditions. So with that in mind, if we feel like we need to be with our phones or on our phones, connected to the apps on our phones in order to feel good, this isn't freedom, is it? That's really obvious. It's clearly not freedom. We want to point towards a freedom that is not dependent on that. But it's tricky because everyone's got a phone. Like pretty much everybody's got a phone, and the apps that we use, especially social media apps like YouTube or Instagram, they are designed with a lot of research to capture our attention. They're in the attention business. Our attention is their commodity, ultimately. So they're really sophisticated in the way that they do that. It's impressive. You could say it's impressive in a way that these apps on our phones and just the nature of having this mobile device that we hold in our pockets all the time, it's impressive how easily it captures our attention. And you could say in awakening or exploring awakening, we're in the attention game. This is what we're interested in, our attention and how it's being pulled around, how it's being used. So it's really good to explore the things that are keeping us bound to craving, let's say, or desire, or becoming, or status. And I think phones, like cell phones, mobile phones, and social media are really quite powerful at doing that. So I asked a few questions at the beginning. Let's ask another question. Could you imagine never using your phone ever again? How does that feel? Like, what comes up with, could you imagine just never using your phone ever again? Or maybe let's dial that back about a bit. That's a bit much. Maybe just say, imagine you dropped your phone, it's shattered, and you couldn't get a new one for 2 weeks. Just picture that happening now. How does that make you feel? Does something want to react or respond inside? Do you feel like a danger? Like, a feeling of danger, a feeling of terror? Maybe. We want to be free from these reactive, habitual responses to conditions. If we want to be free in life, we want to be liberated and awake. So we need to explore the day-to-day things that impact us, such as phones and losing phones. And a lot of the story that will come up when you start imagining the phones, like, how will I contact my friends? How will I survive? What could I possibly do without it? And you can see it's like this negotiation, like bargaining thing going on in the head about why we need the phone because A, B, C, whatever it is. So hopefully you've been with me so far. And I'm putting these questions out there because these are questions I ask myself, like, I think like everyone in the Western world, probably a relationship with my phone that isn't straightforward. So feeling into where it's the boss of me and I'm not in control of it is really important for exploring my own freedom. If you're starting to feel through this, oh, actually, yeah, there is some freedom there. I don't need my phone. Maybe I can be without it. Actually, those questions are sitting a bit easier with me now. Well, the next step is give it a go. Turn your phone off for one day, just one day, completely off. Don't check anything, and notice how many times during the day the mind and the body will lurch towards your pocket, will lurch towards trying to check your phone. And then if you get through one day, notice then how the mind is like, I can't wait for tomorrow, and then I can check my phone again. Or the next morning, the first thing you do is go, oh, I'm glad that's over, and just reach for the phone. Now, I'm not saying there's any clear answers to this question. It's individual, isn't it? It's individual for different people. But the question is, using my phone harming my awakening? I think it's a really important one, because it forces us and me and you and everybody to look at our embedded habits and hopefully move towards freedom.